All right, hey guys. So we're gonna do a little screencast today on how to set up your podcast interview. Okay, so you're gonna want to create, if you haven't done so already, just click Enter Studio, and this will create a project. And so it occurred to me yesterday. I sat with Isaiah and we talked about how to set the tracks up in order for you to record your interview. So I thought it might be helpful for all of us to take a look. Right. So here is a blank project. I would go ahead and rename it. If you haven't done so already, I would call it, this is an example, podcast interview. Good. All right. So here's how you're going to set up your project to record questions and answers. So add a new vocal track. And again, this is going to use the microphone right on the Chromebook. I would recommend using no effects for an interview. If we were doing a pop song or something, I might suggest something else. But just for an interview, you want as clean as sound as possible. Okay, don't worry about that. So here's how you would set up your question track. I might actually rename it here to call it me. All right, I'm gonna press record. Not using headphones. Okay. Gives you a little intro. Great. So this is an example of a question track. So, where did you grow up? Right, so it's going to process that file. And I'm probably just going to trim that up a little bit. And maybe on this side too. Let's take a listen. Great, so this is an example of a question track. So, where did you grow up? Cool. So that's where you'll ask the question, okay? And here's where your parents will answer the question. Create a new track. Again, make the effects dry. That's really funny. See what's going on here. Okay. Delete that. That usually won't happen. So, place the microphone. Dry. Good. That was kind of fun. All right. You'll know which track you're recording on with this little record enable button. Okay, so right now the only track that's going to record is track number 2, right? Because it's not illuminated here. So what you want to do is take the in the old days it's called a tape head. For our purposes now, you can think of this as the cursor, right? So the cursor is going to go out here to the answer part, right? So we're going to press record. So where did you grow up? I grew up in Southern California in North San Diego County. All right, so there is your answer track. So let's listen to it all together. Great, so this is an example of a question track. So, where did you grow up? I grew up in Southern California in North San Diego County. So that's an example of how to set up. This is the track that you'll ask questions. And this is the track that your parents will answer the questions on, and it's kind of nice. You can kind of trim these up, in the editing stages, so that it doesn't take so long for them to answer. And so you can move this around. I think what was helpful for Isaiah and I yesterday is that it was cool to say you can move this around. Let's say that you want that to be question 5, right? You can ask a bunch of stuff in here and move this around. Okay? So for our purposes right now, I'm going to put it right up against the question. Maybe I'll trim this up a little bit. All right, that might be too fast, but you never know. I would encourage you to test these out as much as possible. Listen to what you've done. Great, so this is an example of a question track. So, where did you grow up? I grew up in Southern California in... All right, so you can make these you can make these responses almost seamless back when you're in the editing stage. Okay, I would rename this track just so you know. I'm gonna undo that. Just so you know that that's where you record. That's where you get the responses. Okay, and this you're just gonna keep doing this for the remainder of the questions. Just keep going back and forth, putting the cursor there, pressing record. So if it's you put that, you're going to record. I'll just do it as an example. In Southern California, in North San Diego County. Excellent. What was the name of the middle school that you went to? All right, and then you're going to move the cursor here, enable their track, and then press record. And you're just going to keep doing this over and over for your questions. So by the time you get, a minute, 2 minutes out, you have, or longer, you have a nice little podcast going, right? All right, everyone, I would encourage you to take the time today to set this up so that you can record your podcast over the weekend. Parents, your parents have already received an email from me. They know the assignment. Hopefully they've asked you about it. I would encourage you to show them the questions first so that they can have time to think about their responses before you actually, you press record and they're on, right? I'd give them an opportunity to think about the questions. And also an opportunity for you all to maybe edit the questions, enhance the questions, all right? Okay, we'll see you Friday.